Risk management in the manufacturing space. Well, joining us today to speak about that is Jim Hilton, Senior Director, Industry Solutions at Motorola Solutions. Jim, welcome.
Thank you.
Jim, if we could turn particularly to the manufacturing space, I'd like to discuss just how you define risk management from, of course, the MSI perspective, how it takes form with your manufacturing customers.
Sure. As I was thinking about this discussion that we were going to have and the idea of risk management, yours and my joint colleagues, have to think about this in several different areas. So if I could, I'd like to just read a short list of 7 areas, and then we'll talk about each one as appropriate. Mm-hmm. Compliance, that's regulatory as well as environmental. Quality, market risk, supply chain risk, customer experience, which is different than market, productivity, and then technical risk. So in every one of those areas, there are issues that can come up. There are costs that need to be controlled. Mm-hmm. There is productivity that needs to be gained or at least managed. And that productivity comes in terms of the machine productivity on a plant floor, as well as the employees around those machines and around that production line, et cetera.
Well, the threshold question, as I recall, was around compliance. Let's begin with that then.
Yeah. So if you think about compliance, we all know, if we read the headlines, that regulations are with us. New regulations are coming down the pike, and that causes an exposure to every manufacturing operation, particularly if the manufacturer supplies to the North American consumer. And in that regard, we've got to find the ROI for that. We've got to manage the compliance. I'm going to use the word compliance again, but because we've got to certify that we are in compliance and somehow do that without hurting the operation.
Let's turn to quality assurance. What would you say the risks are as they relate to quality assurance?
Absolutely. If you go all the way back through the raw material, or let's talk upstream from the manufacturing process, having a pedigree or lot tracking associated with the raw materials coming in, having the work in progress and process tracked all the way through, and then have the destination tracked for every one of those items. When it comes to quality assurance, you've got to pinpoint not only that you're producing a good product, but that when that product goes awry, you can go backwards and very quickly resolve and solve the problem associated with it.
Market risk. Let's turn to that area there. What are your views?
Absolutely. If you think about market risk, it's what investment to make, what the right amount of investment there is to make, where the market is going, and the timing of those investments. That's what I'm talking about market risk.
Subject dear to my heart, supply chain. Supply chain risk, let's talk about that.
Supply chain. It's almost the same thing as looking at quality, except that tracking of goods from no matter where the upstream source is, all the way through finished goods, and no matter where the destination is. There's a proof of delivery, there's a proof of service, there's a documentation required that needs to know every step of the way, and the condition of that product, as you well know, as it comes in, particularly in the consumable products.
Now, you referred to something that you call customer experience risk. Now, let's define that. What are we talking about?
It's the new-fashioned name for brand. If I put out a tainted product and it's consumed by the public, if I put out, even in discrete manufacturing, if I put out a tainted product and it's recalled for whatever reason, there's a brand risk associated with that if left unchecked, if left unmanaged, could destroy a brand and destroy a company.
Absolutely. Production optimization, that's another area I know that you're concerned about. Let's talk about that.
Old-fashioned productivity, whether that's associated with machines, uptime, optimal uptime, minimize downtime, shorten downtime when it does occur, predictive maintenance rather than periodic maintenance, actually predictive maintenance associated with those machines, and then old-fashioned productivity tracking when it comes to staff and line workers as well as management.
Mm-hmm. Now that's going to be different from technical risks, still another area that you have detailed for us. Let's walk through that.
It is, and that's actually the first thing I started thinking about was technical risk, because we're in a forum here where there's a lot of technology being discussed. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to technical risk, it's a function of recognition of trends, adoption, how fast to adopt, how fast to roll out. And in this day and time, the faster technology moves, which we both know is moving increasingly at a higher rate of speed, actually being a laggard now introduces its own level of risk to the average manufacturer.
You know, Jim, as I think about what we've been talking about here, risk clearly is highly complex, but it's also so very comprehensive. There's so much to it. It's so widespread. And this has been a terrific overview of that area. I want to thank you very much for meeting with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Jim Hilton, Motorola Solutions, speaking with us today about managing risk in the manufacturing space. Well, thank you for watching.